Hi, my name is B. I live in Ireland and I did test the 9010 MedBed on the 14th of September 22, which is 3 weeks ago. I didn't testify earlier because I wanted to see how the longer term impact may be, or if there is any. So I was really intrigued to really be able to see what happens. I'm used to some deeper understanding of my own physical body. I've done a major detox in the very past, from heavy metal detox, so I can read symptoms and I can feel changes in my body really well. Also, because I'm a Beyond Quantum healer, healing practitioner, I work a lot with high vibrational energies, because I not only facilitate but also receive sessions. So I know the feeling of energy flowing through me. So what I did before I started, I watched quite a few testimonials, which helped me really a lot to see which questions people had, what was important to them, and also the fact that they wanted to do it during the daytime so that they could actually witness consciously what was happening. This was really appealing to me. I love the course very much, so I really thank the company for creating this, and the course was really helpful for me as well. So when I started the session, I activated the bed, 9010 MedBed, and I was waiting for some kind of sensations in my body, and I couldn't feel anything that was beyond what I'm used to when I'm working with quantum energies. So I tried to increase several times, significantly even. I couldn't feel any major difference to what I normally then feel when I'm in that field. So I also then thought, okay, I'll just tone it down much more. And that's when I actually thought I felt more. But I knew it wasn't about the feeling, so I just brought it up to a medium frequency level, and asked also for a scan to be done. And then, because I had written out all my questions and also affirmations that I wanted to have addressed. So one of my major health issues is, like, my teeth are really bad, and we can see that here. My tooth is really coming out, sticking out. So this already has improved, although it doesn't look like it has, but for me it has. Because there was a major problem before, more than it is now. So, and then there was like lower back pain that I wanted addressed, and some other minor things that I have noticed during listening to other people, that I do actually have some things, but they are not really impacting my daily life to an extent that I even think about them. So anyway, I asked some general questions also to heal these, and because I thought there's so much that I'm focusing on, I just brought up the three major health things, and the first one was my teeth, and the other two I don't even remember what I put in. I think my back, and I have been hurting my lower back in recent times, and really made me feel quite stiff and not so flexible, and so something that I really wanted to change. And so when I read it all out, I really did it fast, as I noticed only later. And I noticed that after 20 minutes I had said everything from my list, so the bed knew what I wanted. And because many people had said that they fell asleep, and I didn't want to lose out on the opportunity to communicate with the bed, whatever is important to me, I said that if I fall asleep, I want to be woken after 30 minutes. So I did fall asleep very quickly, also came back from a really beautiful sleep, and thought, oh my goodness, I've slept at least 3 or 4 hours. I've actually missed half of the time, and when I looked at the time, it was actually really 30 minutes. So that was really, really beautiful to see. And so I noticed after that sleep and after doing some breathing exercises that I usually do anyways, that my feeling for the space and for time was changing and had changed. So I realized suddenly that I was getting more and more into a timeless space. Over the next few hours, maybe 2 hours or so, or 3 already, I was feeling as if I am in a retreat. I felt like, oh my God, this is a retreat. This is such a beautiful thing that happens here to me. So thank you again to the founder. Very, very beautiful what you have created. So my blessings and my thanks. So I noticed that I felt like I am in a retreat. I felt I have all the time in the world. There was no feeling of losing out on anything. And I even realized that me reading out all these questions and everything so quickly in the beginning was something that was related to time. Not to have enough time, or to get too tired, not to be able to read it out, something like that. This totally disappeared. And I actually entered a space where I felt, oh, I'm in a retreat. I literally felt I'm in a retreat. My eyes were open. It was my bedroom. I knew everything there. But it felt like I was on a retreat and I was separate from my normal daily life. So I started even to think, oh, did I start that retreat this morning, or have I been there for a night or two already? I totally lost the feeling for time and the limitations that it brings. So that was a very, very beautiful experience. What I noticed then was that some of the things that I had on my list, some of the requests, and I can't really remember which ones they were, I noticed suddenly that my mind was becoming so very clear that I could ask additional things about it, or request more about it, specify more about it. And that was really, really nice. I felt as if I was much, much better connected to my higher self. So all the normal stress that we have with like what ifs and if I don't have enough time, nothing of this was there. So I felt I have all the time in the world. And as I said, the communication was getting clearer. So things popped up into my mind and I thought, oh my goodness, I can ask this, I can do this. So I then also, I think I fell asleep at least twice or 3 times, and every single time it was only for 30 minutes. I also started to meditate and asked to speak to certain guides that I normally work with, and that was very, very interesting, very intense, very clear. The communication, there was really a communication based on higher aspects. It was not related any longer to this normal life, this very physical life that we sometimes also call the 3D life. And what I also have to say, some people reported that their dreams were more vivid and colorful, and actually after the second time I had fallen asleep, I had a dream. I still remember that part of the dream that was so significant for me. And I also remember that I saw colors very clearly. I've never noticed that before. And during the first phase, like would say the first third of this session, I also had, when I closed my eyes, I had a lot of different colors of light coming into my field. I remember at some stage there was a lot of red coming in, and the red started to change into all kinds of beautiful pinks and other little creamy colors, and then became more like a lilac, purplish color. It was very, very beautiful. I also remember green color coming in, and at some stage the beautiful blue, like the Mary blue, of the Mother Mary, the blue, and also in between like a royal blue with combined with white and gold. So that was really, really nice. Felt so very good. There was something else. I did then do my affirmations that I had written out. I did them several times, and I did them quite slowly, and I felt so very connected to a reality that was is very, very different from the very rushed, pressurized reality we normally live in. So that was another really, really nice experience. I also had asked for healing of any kind of trauma and blockages that I hold that come from previous lifetimes, or any other expressions that I hold in the galactic field that have an impact on this lifetime. So for me, was really important, and still is, to not have any interference for, let's say, future life projects that I may be involved in, but that I need some learning for. But I'm also convinced that the higher self will never do something that is not appropriate anyway. So I was asking for the relief of any birth trauma, for instance, or any childhood trauma that I have. Yeah, so that's more or less what I did. So when I think it was probably the last half hour. So in the very end, the last 2 hours, I felt like, oh my God, it's 2 more hours. So when time is there is not this rushing anymore for any results, and that was so beautiful. So I then noticed that. I thought, oh my God, I have so much time. So I did a lot of breathing, a lot of things that I felt like I normally do with a little bit of pressure that I'm not even aware of. I only noticed when I was in that situation. And then I realized, I suddenly felt like the last 30 minutes roughly, I felt as if there could be a lot of dust in my energy field. So I asked the bed to remove any dust, any debris, any clutter in my energy field. And so that was done as well, and then I finished it. So right after it was finished, I would not have been able to talk about this experience, because I had no way to put into words what had happened for me, and I felt like in a totally different space. So I also had requested that I will still have a very good normal sleep, and I did. And so when I woke up in the morning, I was talking to a friend, and I started to be able to find words for this experience. And for me, it has been absolutely a life changer. I felt so much lighter. I felt as if really any dust, any debris had been totally eliminated. I had so much more space within me. I have since been so much calmer, so much more detached in a very nice way, so that I can look at many things in life when they go wrong or they're strange. I can just look at them calmly, or just have to laugh. And it has stayed with me, but I have to say, I am someone who does regularly meditate. I look into my own shadow and do shadow work, but still, this bed, if I had the money right now, I would immediately buy it, and I know when I have the money I will buy the bed, because this is something really, really special, very, very beautiful. So overall, I recommend everyone to go for it and try it out and see what happens. Thank you so much.